So are you tired of the same old vacations? Yeah, maybe you should just try this one. You just take a cruise, like on a Royal Caribbean cruise. So have you ever wanted to take a cruise, or are you thinking about taking a cruise for the first time? Well, in today's video, I'm taking you along on a Royal Caribbean cruise to show you exactly what to expect, all the great things that you can do, and most importantly, how to prepare for your first cruise. Is taking a cruise worth it? Oh yeah, heck yeah it is. By the way, Royal Caribbean is not sponsoring this video in any way, shape, or form, but hey, if they want to for the next cruise, hey, Royal Caribbean, hit me up. We want to go to Alaska on our next cruise. So you're ready to book your first cruise, and in this video I'm going to show you how to prepare for it. Now of course you can pick whatever cruise line that you like. For me personally, I prefer Royal Caribbean. It was our first cruise line ever that we went with, and we enjoyed it so much we actually went on 2 other cruises. So that's 3 cruises in the length of a year and a half. Now after booking your cruise, it's important to download the app onto your phone and start getting everything filled out in preparation. You'll initially get offers for Wi-Fi, water, etc., and I highly suggest that you take advantage of those prices early, as the prices will continue to go up the closer you get to your cruise date. And I also suggest ordering a case or 2 of water for your room. Trust me, it's going to come in handy. In the app you can see all the excursions available to sign up for. Excursions do cost extra, but hey, you're on vacation. Now, once you're about 2 weeks away from your cruise date, you'll start to see on the app all the shows and entertainment each day and the times for each. Now, here's the thing that we learned on our first cruise. Definitely sign up for designated dinner times. And speaking of my time dining, whenever you set your timing schedule of the time that you want, like for us it was 5 o'clock, you get the same 2 waiters every single night for dinner. So they get to know your name, they get to know your preferences, what you like, if you have allergies or not, if you like a cup of coffee after dinner. They'll take excellent care of you. Before you head out, make sure to make a checklist of all the things that you need to bring with you. And if you're traveling outside of the country, you must bring your passport with you. Please don't forget this. And also don't forget any medications that you need, and factor in travel time to get to the cruise ship, and also travel time to get back home. And I recommend bringing a backpack for all those medicine items, and also a change of clothes in it as well. Now, once you arrive at your port terminal, try to log into the ship's Wi-Fi as soon as possible. You drop off your bags with the porters. It's always good to tip them. Then head up to security immigration check-in. After that, they're going to take your photo, and then you're on your way getting onto the ship. We like to do our boarding check-in kind of early, around 11 a.m.-ish, just to get through security and aboard the ship. You must first do your safety briefing in the app. It'll tell you what muster you are and where to go. After that, we head up to the Windjammer restaurant, which is a buffet style with more food than you could ever eat, but it gives us a chance to kind of unwind a bit before heading to the front of the ship for launch, which is usually around 2 p.m. Around 1 to 2 p.m. you can check into your room. Your key card, or as it's called, your C-Pass, will be outside the door of your room. And don't worry about your luggage. It will arrive later during the cruise, and it'll be outside your room in the hallways. Sometimes it's not right by your door, and on one of our cruises it was actually on the other side of our deck in the hallway, but no worries, it will not get lost. Now, when you first walk into the room, you may be shocked at the room size, because it's not the size of a conventional hotel room, but you'll soon see that it's more than you need. And I highly recommend getting a seaside room with a balcony, as it's a great view and a nice place to relax. Another thing I recommend is getting a dedicated power outlet made for cruise ships, as it'll give you a few more outlets and some USB hubs to charge your devices. And trust me, you only get 2 plugs in your room, so if you have a bunch of other devices that you need to charge up, some added plugs is definitely well needed. And now for those of you that use a CPAP, The cruise line will give you an extension cord to use and also a gallon of distilled water free of charge. You just need to ask for it during your booking, and if you happen to forget to ask during booking, guest services will take care of it for you. Now during your first night's dinner, it's casual night, so shorts and a t-shirt are not an issue, but each cruise line has a dedicated dress-up formal night, so you may want to pack some fancy swags for a few dinners. But I found out on our first cruise I was dressed up in a suit and there were still people in shorts, so with saying that, it's your vacation, dress the way that you want, just be comfortable. Now the first day on a cruise ship is a little bit crazy because it's kind of like when you're stopping off at port, everyone's on the elevator, so kind of accommodate a little bit of extra time because there is going to be a bit of a wait for an elevator. Now, I know a lot of people ask, is everything free on a cruise ship? Well, yes and no. If you want a really fancy dinner at a specialty restaurant, those do cost extra, and if you want sodas or alcohol, then you need to pay for those. But they do offer a drink soda package in the app before the cruise. Now, we drink water and coffee, so that's not an issue. Otherwise, the buffet restaurant is free, your main dining is free, and on the promenade deck, Deck 5 with Royal Caribbean, there's a pizza place / sandwich shop, and they also have pastries, which are also free. Also, the pizza sandwich shop has coffee urns that are always being filled up, so you can just ask for a to-go cup for easy refilling throughout your day or night. Now, all the shows on the ship are free, but remember, it is first come, first served seating, so you don't get to reserve a seat. So that's where you want to get into the app and look at all the events and all the shows that are going on, where they're at on the ship, and also what time that they are, and try to get there a little bit early to get yourself a good seat. Now, one strange thing that I noticed after our first or second day on our first cruise was on the elevators, on the floor, on the carpeting, it has the day of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And every day they change that out. So if you departed on a Monday, it now will say Tuesday the next day. And you may think that's a little bit odd, but when you're out at sea for a 5 to 7 day cruise, yes, you will lose track of what day it is. Now on our first cruise, while my wife was unpacking, I decided to explore the ship a little bit. And wow, I was amazed at Deck 5, the promenade deck. It was like a city street with all sorts of shops, cafes to check out. And oh, before I get too far ahead of myself, they do not accept cash or your credit card on board. Any and all purchases will be done on your SeaPass room key, and the cruise ship will bill it to the credit card that you attach to your SeaPass via booking. Now, it's easy to spend hours wandering aimlessly throughout the entire ship, and I suggest everyone do it a few times to get a good lay of the land. And yes, they do have casinos, so if you want to try your luck, it's kind of like a little mini Las Vegas. And by the way, if you have any teenage kids or even younger kids, there are a ton of activities for your kids to do, from an arcade room, or if there's a teen in your family, they have a teen room for teens only. That's right, the adults don't even get to go in, but it's a way for them to have some fun, interact with each other, play some games inside, do some dancing with one another. It's a nice little fun teen only experience. And and that's just besides the swimming pools. And of course, everyone's going to enjoy the swimming pools, especially if you're a younger child. The staff on board is actually excellent. Everyone that we've had interactions with, from the person that cleans your room, is going to be your room attendant, and it's the same person all the time. And they make up your bed, they'll do the towels, and we had one that was a duck, we had one that was a dog. So they make the towels up in these cool little figures. And it's kind of a nice, refreshing thing when you've been around the cruise ship, you're doing activities, you come back to your room's all cleaned up. It's just really, really nice. And also, like I said, the staff on board Royal Caribbean cruise ships, and I'm sure it's with all cruise lines, don't get me wrong, but with Royal Caribbean, that's what I can talk about because that's the ship that I was on. The staff is just great. They're super friendly, super helpful. Everyone on board, it's just such a fun experience. And there's not all these parties going on where it's crazy people, they're all drinking and fighting and all that. It's all, I'm going to say middle-aged people with families and their kids, and it's just a really nice environment. Great way to relax and a great way to see some new stuff. And depending on the excursions that you pick, like for us, we had went to one trip, we went to Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Another trip, we went to Casa Maya. Another one was Cozumel. You can swim with the dolphins. Have a little retreat to a private little beach in Costa Maya. Just tons of things to see. Great people, great cultures. Like I said, at the beginning of the video, I'm looking forward to doing an Alaskan cruise because that just seems, to me, it's going to be the next one that I really want to do. Well, hopefully you found this video helpful and it kind of give you some insight and some information into what to expect for your first time ever getting on a cruise line. And if you did find this video helpful, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you have anything that you'd like to add, definitely put it down in the comment section below because I read and respond to all comments. And remember, I'll catch you in the next cruise, in the next review, or maybe the next cruise review. Who knows? Hey, Royal Caribbean, we want to go to Alaska.